Hi, my name is Juls Sundberg, and I'm the Metadata Librarian at the Vermont Historical Society. I'm here to share with you today this item from our library collections. So this is a copy of a toy book printed in Windsor, Vermont in the 1800s. VHS has two copies of this title. Both copies were printed by Preston Merrifield in Windsor, Vermont. And while the other copy has a publisher listed from Newport, New Hampshire, and is dated 1837, this copy has no date. It would have been printed no later than Merrifield's death in 1874 and no earlier than 1809, which places it either very late Regency era or Victorian era. As the two copies look fairly alike, it's reasonable to assume it was printed closer to 1837 than 1809, which would place it solidly in the Victorian era. Preston Merrifield was a bookbinder, seller, printer, and publisher in Windsor from 1809 to his death in 1874. In 1812, he published the first Bible printed in Vermont, which VHS holds multiple copies of. He also briefly possessed the Dresden press, which is currently held by VHS's museum. While there's no proof that the Dresden press was used for either the Bible or for these toy books, Merrifield's store was right under Spooner's printing house, where the press was said to reside for some years. In newspaper advertisements for his business, Merrifield listed Bibles, school books, dictionaries, grammar books, fiction, history, plays, and more, including children's books and toy books. A toy book like this would have sold for 12 to 50 cents in the mid to late 1800s, which is $3 to $12 in 2022 money. The paper would have been fabric-based, and there is record of Merrifield advertising that the highest price will be given for clean cotton and linen rags in 1810 in the Washingtonian, and both ink and paper would have been made in shop. Toy books were a staple of Victorian era's children's books. Education of children was highly valued in the Victorian era, and educational toys included books, puzzles, games, building blocks, and more. In general, while toy books were educational, they weren't overly stern or focused on morality, which was a departure from most Victorian children's literature at the time. Often toy books were given as presents, which accounts for the language around gift giving on many of the title pages, such as a present for a good child on the title page of the second copy. Vermont Historical Society holds multiple other similar toy books published by Merrifield, including titles such as Manners and Customs, Natural History of Animals, and History of Birds. Thanks so much for joining us today. To learn more about this and other items in our collections, follow the Vermont Historical Society on social media or visit our website at www.vermonthistory.org.